Hey photographers, would you like to know what Fujifilm is planning for 2022? Me too. So I did a little investigating. I found a few sketchy details and a few concept sketches. All will be revealed in the next few minutes. Full disclosure, although I am friendly with several Fuji guys, let me clarify my NDA status with Fujifilm Canada. Nothing in this video was shared with me under a non-disclosure agreement. However, I'm not actually able to tell you whether I currently am or am not under NDA. That's how NDAs work. And I'm sponsored by you, by my viewers who support this channel by being members. That means no mid-roll ads, no sponsored promotions. And if you'd like to support my style of less commercial work, please join below. Now, I'm calling this information about unannounced Fujifilm products rumors. Remember, you saw it here first. Also, I don't actually believe rumors or announcements. I don't trust anything until it arrives at my doorstep. And as I've already hinted, there will not be an XH2. Instead, Fujifilm will release the XH5 later in January. The XT5 follows about 3 months later. Then, about 3 months after that, the XT55. The 5 making it clear that all are using the new 5th generation X-Trans sensor. The X5 sensor will support X-Trans, but is also switchable in firmware to Bayer. A gentle Peter McKinnon-style smash does the switch. Now, I can't confirm that Peter's switching to Fujifilm, but the code name for this project is Baby Shark. A Google search will reveal more details. The X-Trans and Bayer settings have their own unique film simulations, all selectable and configurable as recipes. Reading between the rows of pixels here, you could imagine that future versions might have entirely user-configurable color arrays, taking recipes in a whole new direction. Now, I don't like overused cliches like taking it to the next level or game changer, but they might apply to this development. And this new Instagram influence sensor has 55 megapixels in a nearly square 5.5 by 5 aspect ratio. Note that for the Bayer setting, you'll need an optional optical low-pass filter screwed onto the front of the lens. Those will be available in the standard Fujifilm filter diameters or as a 12 filter kit with all diameters. Pricing was not available for that. So, that's the sensor. What about the cameras? Well, there will be 3 versions of this new flagship 5 model: the XH5SH, the XH5M, and the XH5N. Pricing also features the number 5. That likely means that the price of the XH5N will be 5,559 euros, dollars, or yen, whichever you prefer. And each member of this trio of models has colors, controls, features, and firmware for specific target market segments of photographers. The XH5SH is designed for serious hobbyists. It will have an integrated Instax printer, as well as direct social media upload when tethered to your phone. The XH5M is designed for wedding photographers and is capable of taking photos and video simultaneously, eliminating the need for a second camera and videographer for your shoots. The XH5N is the Netflix-approved video production model, and with its Wi-Fi connection, you'll also be able to stream and watch Netflix content directly on the camera screen between takes. Did I mention that these sensors are made in Japan, but cameras will be assembled from Japanese, German, and Canadian components at a carbon-neutral plant in Switzerland? Exciting! However, the X-Trans 5 sensor is not the only new sensor in the 2022 plans. A new 16:9 format Super 35mm X-Trans sensor designed specifically for video will be used in 2 models. There will be the X-Trans 6 to the power 9 sensor. No Bayer compatibility here. Now, the first camera with this sensor is the X101VW with an integrated desktop tripod designed specifically for webcam use. It features an integrated lens with a fixed aperture of f2 for excellent bokeh. With the X101VW, you won't need a computer or a phone to stream. Connect it directly to Wi-Fi and it has options for Zoom, YouTube, Google Duo, FaceTime, WebEx, AOL, and more using a new firmware architecture that allows additional streaming apps to be downloaded and installed directly on the X100VW. An optional satellite dish can be used to connect to Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink network, enabling you to connect from anywhere at any time, including the new SpaceX Tesla Fujifilm collaboration space station service station. Drop off your SD card and pick up your prints on your next orbit. The lens is mounted on one leg, the screen on another, enabling a full 180-degree rotation. An optional teleprompter will be released alongside this model. It mounts on the third leg of the tripod with an arm that suspends it beside the lens. Very cool. Then, also using the Super 35mm video-specific sensor, the flagship X101VX. Its internal codename is Kurosawa. Resolutions up to 8K with 16:9 and 17:9 as well as 1.85 and 2.35 in addition to anthropomorphic. All at 18, 24, 30, 35, 48, 60, 118, 120, and 124 frames. One caveat, 1.85 will not be supported at 30 or 120, but a firmware upgrade may include a drop frame accommodating 239. And this camera will not take stills. It records video directly onto an SSD drive, similar to Atomos recorders, and includes most of the capabilities of the Ninja V in the camera. That means Apple ProRes in 3 profiles, including HQ, F-Log, and HLG, with full support for Rec 2020, 2021, and 2022. The standard model comes with a 3.5-inch P3 type OLED display with display HLG. Incidentally, the screen will not rotate, but the lens will. There's also the X101VX Pro, codenamed Miranda, with a display capable of rendering the full Rec 2020 color gamut. The X101VX Pro Max, with a 7-inch screen, will be announced but won't be available until 2033. For larger productions, replace the single SSD with a RAID array for up to 5 Fujibytes of storage. A Fujibyte can store all of the original footage used in Peter Jackson's Beatles documentary, including even more footage of Yoko Ono, as well as 5 full-length copies of the completed documentary in 13-bit 17K ProRes HQ with 1 after 909 color sampling. Oh! All of these will include dual XLR inputs, the new, smaller 2.5mm version developed for Fujifilm by Sennheiser, who will have a line of compatible wired and wireless mics from both their Sennheiser and Neumann brands. Wireless mics use the Zigbee protocol, making it possible to also adjust lighting. Now finally, there is a chance that the new Fujifilm drone camera, also with the 16:9 sensor, will be released in 2022, but 2023 seems more likely. The code name here is Rick Astley. Again, Google has more information. Fujifilm's drone will be less like a quadcopter, more like a hot air balloon, so it's nearly silent in operation, except for the occasional heating burst from the onboard heater to maintain altitude. A new isotope audio filter app will remove that. Finally, usable audio from a drone. In addition to taking the X-Trans sensor into the air, the controller manages multiple drones, up to 5 is what I've heard, but could be more, with full HD or 4K after the firmware upgrade being transmitted from each balloon back to the controller base station, which has an integrated switcher to switch from one drone to another and live stream the output. Insiders tell me that the target date will likely slip to WPPI in February 2023. Did I mention the Super 1000mm telephoto zoom lens? It will be made by the new optical division of Swarovski. Now, if you need regular updates on what might happen with Fujifilm releases, keep your eye on the Fuji Rumors website. They do sometimes get it right. Not everyone is as good at keeping secrets as I am. Thanks for watching, and please resist the urge to comment, and stay safe.